For so many of us, the day just doesn't kick off until that first sip of coffee. It's more than a drink, it's a ritual. But have you ever actually stopped to think about what's going on inside your brain to give you that incredible jolt? Well, today, we're going to get right into that chemical magic.
It really does feel like flipping a switch, doesn't it? But it's not magic. It's pure, fascinating brain chemistry. So let's pull back the curtain on your daily brew and find out what's really happening. Okay, so to understand how coffee wakes you up, we actually have to start with the thing that makes you tired in the first place. So let's meet the main character in Act 1 of our story, a chemical called adenosine. I want you to think of your brain as this super busy, bustling office. All day long, your brain cells, your neurons, are working hard, firing away. And as they work, they create this byproduct, and that byproduct is adenosine. It just builds up hour by hour, and as it builds, it starts looking for a place to dock, telling your brain cells, hey, it's time to chill out, time to rest. It's basically the brain's natural off switch.
And now, enter caffeine. Our hero, maybe? Caffeine has one incredible superpower, and that is its ability to be a master of disguise. It's a world-class molecular imposter.
And here is the secret to its disguise. I mean, just look at them. On the left, that's adenosine, the key that fits perfectly into your brain's sleepy locks. And on the right, that's caffeine. They look almost identical, don't they? So caffeine is like this perfectly forged key. It can slide right into the lock, but, and this is crucial, it doesn't actually turn it. This brings us to the main event, the core of how this whole thing works. The best way to picture it is as a little heist, happening on a microscopic level, all about stealing a very valuable parking spot.
So all over your neurons, you have these little docking stations called receptors. Just think of them as prime empty parking spaces, just sitting there waiting for the right molecule to come along and park.
So in a normal brain, without any coffee, adenosine molecules are pulling into these spots all day long. And every time one of them parks, it tells that neuron to slow down, to fire less. This is what creates that feeling of tiredness. The more parking spots get filled, the sleepier you feel. Simple as that. But when you drink a cup of coffee, caffeine zooms into your brain. And because it looks so much like adenosine, it gets to those parking spots first. It slides right in, steals the spot, and just sits there. It doesn't trigger the sleepy signal, it just blocks the spot. So when the real adenosine shows up, ready to make you tired, it finds all the spots are taken. There's nowhere to park. And this is the key takeaway. Coffee doesn't give you energy. It's not fuel. It just stops you from feeling tired by blocking the signals that are trying to tell you to rest.
But wait, the story doesn't end there. By blocking those sleepy signals, caffeine kicks off this incredible chain reaction, a kind of domino effect that leads to that awesome feeling of alertness that we're all after.
So, let's walk through it. First, caffeine blocks adenosine. Right. Second, by doing that, it's like the natural brakes on your brain have just been released. And third, with the brakes off, a bunch of other stimulating chemicals in your brain are suddenly free to be released at a much higher rate. And the end result? You feel sharper, more awake, and ready to take on the world.
So what are these stimulating chemicals? Well, for one, your dopamine levels go up. That's a big part of why coffee can make you feel good and help you focus. And at the same time, you get a boost in norepinephrine. That's tied to your fight or flight response, so it ramps up your alertness and your vigilance. It's a real 1-2 punch for your brain.
Now, you've probably noticed that your friend can have a double espresso after dinner and sleep like a log. But if you have a cup past 3 p.m., you're staring at the ceiling all night. What's up with that? Well, the answer isn't in the coffee, it's in your genes.
It pretty much comes down to an enzyme in your liver called CYP1A2. You can think of it as your body's personal caffeine cleanup crew. If you have the fast metabolizer gene, your crew is super efficient. You get a quick, strong jolt, and then it's gone. But if you're a slow metabolizer, that caffeine just hangs around in your system for a lot longer. This is why some people are much more likely to get the jitters or feel anxious from caffeine. It's just a perfect example of how our unique biology really shapes our experience.
You know, this quote really nails it. That simple cup of coffee is doing so much more than just keeping your eyes open. It orchestrates a symphony of neurological changes. I love that. It's this complex, elegant performance happening inside your brain with every single sip.
So the next time you take that first sip in the morning, remember that little microscopic heist happening inside your head. You're not just drinking a warm beverage, you're actively intervening in your own brain chemistry. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is it just a habit, or are we all just a bunch of daily brain hackers?